Alright guys, so this is a bit different than what I normally do to start a video, but to tell this story, there's a few details that you guys have to know. So let's go all the way back. I think it was somewhere around January 12th to Hanoi. When we first landed in Hanoi, our mission was to get some motorbikes. Okay, so we accomplished that pretty quickly. Did we do a good job? I guess you'll find out soon. We got some motorbikes for about $260, which in today's market is a great price. Okay, those bikes are selling for $400 or $500 right now. But maybe we got such a good price because those bikes didn't work for shit. First time we tried to set off and leave Hanoi, we were going to Ha Giang Loop, and we made it maybe 30 minutes outside of Hanoi before my motorbike broke down. Now, the two of them ahead of me on two motorbikes in front of me didn't realize it broke down for quite some time, and I was sat there underneath an underpass. I witnessed a drug deal. A few homeless people came up to speak with me. I don't know what they said, and that was my first experience. Now, when they got back, I was not feeling getting towed back to town, but that's what happened next. We actually dug around in the grass and dirt in the area around us and found plastic ties, tied our motorbikes together, and Craig actually towed me back to Hanoi. Now, he towed me back to Hanoi over bridges, through the most insane traffic I've ever been in my entire life, and I didn't have a working motorbike. I was being dragged along by hardly tied together cable ties that we found on the side of the road. It was a wild trip. The ride was crazy, and we're lucky we made it back safe. Now, attempt number 2 to leave Hanoi. Attempt number 2, I got my bike sorted out, figured out how to use a clutch cable, and 7 minutes out of town instead of 30, Joel's bike had some brake issues. Pulled over, tried to get that fixed. Now, the rest of that journey, we decided to go to Ha Long instead of Ha Giang, and the rest of that journey was riddled with issues. We found out very quickly that Craig's motorbike leaks oil. We found out that my motorbike blows out white smoke, and we found out that Joel's motorbike doesn't have good brakes. It took us 8.5 hours to do a 3-hour ride. Okay, so let that sink into how many issues we really had. Alright, so we finally get to Ha Long, and my motorbike's blowing out white smoke. We take that motorbike to the shop. I asked him, what's the deal, can you fix it? He fiddled with a couple of things and he said, you're okay, no issue, you're fine, drive away, no worries. And I was like, you sure? Can I do something to fix it? He was like, no problem, go, you're good, your bike's good. And then he started working on Craig's bike that had an oil leak. So I was like, you know what? Okay, he must have done something, he must have changed something around so that issue won't affect me anymore. Boy, was I wrong. They were just trying to get me out the door so they didn't have to deal with me anymore. We're leaving Cat Ba and we're heading down towards Tan Hoa, okay? We didn't make it there. The first night we're on our way, we get to a city called Tai Bin, and my gear shift breaks. It's braking, it's hanging loose, and I'm stuck in second gear. It's already dark, I'm stuck in second gear, and I have about 30-40 kilometers to go to find a hotel. Okay. Next morning we wake up, find a mechanic, he fixes it up, boom, bam, seems all good for a good price, and I figured my motorbike was in good running condition again. I thought I was all good, I figured they would check things out, check the oil. That same day that I just got it fixed, breaks down a little bit further down the road, maybe an hour, maybe 2. And we break down in Ninh Binh, or in Tam Coc, just outside of Ninh Binh, which was coincidentally the most beautiful place in Vietnam that we saw, and kind of a lucky place to break down. What was happening, that white smoke was oil burning, okay, and it just burned out the oil until I had none left. Engine seized, did damage on the inside of the motor, huge problems, and it cost almost as much as I paid for the bike to fix it, and I really didn't want to have to rebuild the engine and do this. So, luckily we found a nice guy named Alan. He had another motorbike for about 4 million that 4 million dong that he would give to me. So we worked out a bit of a trade deal. I gave him my motorbike, and then I took his motorbike plus $100. Plus, it was, I believe, 2.5 million dong. I gave him that and took a few parts off my bike and put them on his bike, and I took his motorbike. Boom, the red one you see right there. This one sounds a lot nicer. It's got a smaller motor. It's way older, maybe a 2009. and it moved, all right? My other bike didn't drive, this one drove. That's all that really ended up mattering. We enjoyed a couple of days in Tamcock, kind of relaxed, because until that point, Vietnam had been so stressful and so difficult and so cold and not fun that we were just like fed up. We found a place, the weather was warming up, we said screw it, we're staying here. And from there, we decided to head to the border. Now, believe it or not, the craziest thing hasn't come yet in this story. We take our bikes, we start heading to the border, the Nam Pha border. We were driving in the rain, but it was okay. And we finally get to the border the night of the 5th. The owner of the hotel we stayed at tells us that right when we arrive, hey guys, by the way, you can't cross that border with the motorbikes. We can walk across, we just can't bring our motorbikes, which is the whole point of this journey, so we're not giving up here. We can cross the Lao Bao border, okay? We've heard of people driving their motorbikes across Lao Bao, and it's about 400 kilometers, okay? Now keep in mind, our entire journey in Vietnam from Hanoi to Nam Pha, where we ended up, was probably less than 400 kilometers, okay? And we were gonna do all of that, what we had done in the past 3 weeks, in one day.
Hey!
Hey!
Back
Hey! Back gang!
Hey!
So as you guys can see, my shoes are completely soaked through. They didn't dry off at all last night. Me and Craig both bagged our feet up, put some socks on, then bags, and now wet shoes. No choice, don't want to wear the Crocs because it's a little dangerous while driving. Let's get today started. We got a long way to go. Okay, so we've just begun. We haven't even made it to the gas station yet. Maybe like 5-10 minutes on the road, and Craig's already having major issues. My bike has a load of issues as well as Craig's. My bike, second gear doesn't engage, and also when I'm just driving in second, it'll just slip out all of a sudden. So really unsafe, especially when you can see how wet it is out here. The roads are soaking and the fog is so low down you can't see 100 meters. So we're hoping that we're in luck, because if you look across the street, that looks a lot like a mechanic or someone who's just has way too many bikes and bike parts. I think we're gonna push the bikes over there and see if we can get this thing patched up and get on the road. Another major issue Craig has is this bit that holds his bike snapped right here, his bike rack, so it's not supposed to be at such a steep angle. It cracked and bent and broke, and so now Craig has to wear his bag on his front, and Molly has to wear her bag on her back. And driving for that many hours with a bag on, trust me, is so awful, so hard. Uh-oh. Craig's throttle is literally stuck open. He just turned the bike on and it just started revving out of control. The second major issue with my bike, and the reason that I can't use its full power, is because when I get into the higher RPMs in third and fourth gear, it just sounds like the engine gets flooded, and then it tries to slow down if I don't release the throttle. It sounds like it's gurgling fuel, like it sounds awful. So not only am I less powered than everybody, but I can't even use my bike's full power because it just wants to shit out and stop driving. Okay, thank you.
That covers
I think he kind of just fixed me up and I didn't even really get a chance to record it, but from my perspective, he just revved the shit out of it and then tweaked the throttle ever so slightly. I don't think I have to pay, but every time this happens, they fix something else, and then it's my turn. They rev it up, make an adjustment, and they send me on my way. Last time that happened, my engine seized. So wish me luck. Okay, so as I told you guys, he didn't fix it. He just ragged it, adjusted the fuel intake. Whatever he did has made it much worse. So now, before it would be at the top of third and a little bit in fourth. Now it does it in second, third, and fourth. And now Craig and Molly's rack finally snapped. It broke off. Clean break, huh? It looks like it was sliced.
It's insane.
Wow, it looked like it was just cut off by a blade. And not a great start. Not a great start to the day. His bike is broken down now twice. My bike has gotten worse in the process, and we still need to go 400 kilometers, right?
That could have killed someone.
Yeah, that could have been. Did it fall off and you had to go get it?
Yeah.
I felt it fall and then I looked back and I saw it back.
Oh no.
But luckily there was no one there.
Well,
Bye-bye.
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 So, of course, as we started fixing this, we gained an audience. But I got it set up. I tied Craig's rack onto mine and then my bag on top. A nice little stop. The cruising's going well so far. About 60K. Okay. So we've only 300 left to go.
We know that the Lao border is now something we can cross.
Yeah, it's a lot better feeling now that we know we can probably cross down there. I'm still not convinced, guys. I'm still really not convinced, but I'm excited. I'm eager. There's an ant crawling on my camera, and I gotta pee.
And here we have the giant gigantus from the US having a little wee, showing all of the lorry drivers his penis. He really looked. He was like, that 7-foot giant has a giant pair of hands.
Well, I put my hand over it. I blocked it. The camera's getting eerily, the angle's a little too close, Craig. No.
Let's interview let's interview Jordan whilst you. Oh.
This guy's pumping out an entire rice paddy, it looks like.
Here we go. This is how we cool down our motorbike. Look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There we go.
Craig's taking one for the team and he's getting his shoes extra wet.
Super wet.
Oh yeah. All right, that actually worked pretty well. Let's get back on the road. Half works, a bunch of stuff, liquids coming out. All right, we're not exactly sure what happened. We're thinking maybe a little water got into Craig's engine because he's missing a bolt. He's missing a bolt right here, and there was water pouring out of it. We're not sure what's happened, but it won't start. My bike is started up, but his isn't.
There's so much water in the spark plug.
Oh, tons of water in the spark plug, huh? Oh, this guy's helping us out. Hopefully a wet spark plug was just the issue. The seal wasn't right. Hey, come on, thank you, brother. Thank you.
This is what happens everywhere we go. Everyone just points and laughs at Jordan
What a literal crowd.
for being so tall. Hello. Oh, look at that.
I was just giving you some noodles.
Have some noodles for being so tall.
Thank you.
He's saying you have really big feet.
I don't know if they're making fun of me or having it's hard to tell.
But I'm here with you, bro.
This, honestly, guys, for those who don't know, this is every day of my life.
Yeah. Good night, good night.
Hey, you got somewhere to put this?
This guy brought a crowd out and now he's saying goodbye to us. Like, you're the dude who brought the crowd out. So funny.
They're hysterics.
No, don't give it back.
Give it to someone else later.
Yeah, I'm about to. It's not gonna last.
Look.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh.
I don't think it's rock, paper, scissors. I don't know what that means. means I'm not doing it back to you. Are we like that? What on earth did you just do?
Jordan's trying to get away. He has to just try and get away now. He's just gone. He's just gone.
He's out of it.
So sometimes people laugh at him because he's tall. He's like, hey! But then sometimes they laugh for a long time and point at him, and then he's like, oh, I don't like this. And then now he's gone. But they're just watching him like he's some sort of...
Craig's making it worse.
and putting pressure on him, and he's stalling.
Right, let's go.
He's gone. He's gone. That's so funny.
From there on, it was just riddled with my issues. Craig had more issues. He had more issues with his throttle, more issues with his electrics. Everything went wrong on this journey. We make it to Zoiha. Finally made it there. It was somewhere where we felt comfortable because it was only 100 kilometers to the border. And we were like, okay, we can do that the next day. I don't even want to tell this part because it pissed me off. First, I had to go to the ATM, take out money. There's an exchange rate fee to exchange it from US to Vietnamese to then go pay somebody, and another exchange fee to then get US dollars cash. The Lao border, they only accept Lao Kip US dollars, and I forget what the other currency is. And then I got to the border and they wouldn't even accept it. The drive to the border, we take our time today because we got 2 hours, or we got the whole day to make it 100 kilometers. And after the day before, we felt invincible.
Guys, I don't know if I blame you or Craig more for what just happened to me, but I just got myself into the grossest situation ever. I get here and Craig is pulled over right in front of me. And so I pull over behind him because I thought he was gonna stop. I take a step off my bike straight into a pile of doo-doo. All right, I didn't know it was doo-doo, or I even stepped in it at the time. And then I swung my foot off and I kicked it and smeared a whole bunch all over the bag. Now I cleaned it off because I wasn't gonna just let the poop sit there for the camera. I cleaned it off. There was a ton of poop right there. You can see the stains, okay? I smell like shit. And while I was cleaning it off, my other foot stepped in another pile of shit. Poop everywhere. Poop everywhere. Poop everywhere. I'm pissed now. I'm pissed.
So we finally get to the Lao border and they don't want to let us in. They said you can walk across, but we don't find out our motorbikes are still not allowed through to Lao until we've already technically left Vietnam, okay? So we're in no man's land. We've got a stamp on our passport that says you've left Vietnam. We need to leave to go to another country in order to re-enter Vietnam, and we have motorbikes that can't cross with us. So what do?
Guys, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there's a couple more up there. So there's the border. Honestly, they hassled us even to come back into Vietnam. They were like, no, you can't come. And they told us you can go park our bike over here. Once we told them, they said no motorbike. They said, oh, we understand. Happens all the time. We're gonna go inside, see if we can get some visas to go back into Vietnam. If we can't, we're gonna have to leave our bikes here and walk across. If this works, we're going down in history as legends. He stood us up.
I guess no luck then. Luck? Just like, he's interested in driving my bike across. Oh. I don't know where he's gone. It's big.
All right, let's cross the border. They're waiting for us. Let's go. Okay, so kind of in the haste of things, we have suddenly decided to hop on this bus. We've got it for 300,000 each, which is about 15 bucks each, and we're going all the way to Vientiane apparently. That's where we were trying to get, and it might end up saving us some money on a room tonight to sleep. It's gonna be a long, shitty 12 hours, so not excited. So we found out we may have just paid to lay on boxes. You see the floor on both sides. is covered in boxes. We may be getting our money back. I really don't know what's going on here. I'm way too fucking big for this bus, eh?
Come and lay down there, you're not going to fit.
Well, I'm gonna take it.
No way you'll fit in that. No way. I can barely fit in
Here. If you guys notice where my legs should be, they just don't, it can't fit there. My knee goes all the way to where, oh, you know what, maybe I can stick my feet under there. Yeah, it looks like we got beds. All right, guys, so I got a situation going. I really feel like I'm giving birth to something right now. It's not a comfortable position. And there's just feet everywhere. My feet is everywhere. It is. It is what it is. Look at this.
It's so hot.
It feels like I'm riding a motorbike still. I got 1 minute of footage left, so you guys won't see how awful this is. How do you know how far it is? 12 hours? 12 hours? Yeah, great. You guys won't be able to see this 12-hour journey, but it will suck, no matter what you guys think. Peace.
And that's how you get your motorbike across the Lao border.
Yeah, this is the how to cross the Lao border with a motorbike. And suddenly legs spread open on the sleeper bus.